The confession appeared online at 2:17 a.m. on a humid August night. A man in an orange jumpsuit sat under the dim glow of an interrogation light. His face was blotched with sweat. His voice trembled as he said the words that would ignite a national firestorm. "I killed her. I did it because she wouldn't stop screaming." Within hours, the video had been shared over 8 million times. Cable networks looped it non-stop. Hashtags multiplied. Hashtag confession tape, hashtag justice for Emily, hashtag lock him up. By sunrise, Daniel Holt, a 32-year-old construction foreman from Indianapolis, was already guilty in the court of public opinion. The problem was Daniel had never made that confession. Detectives Ava Ramirez and Mark Lynn arrived at Holt's small duplex before dawn. Body cams recorded every moment. The knock, the hesitation, the look of disbelief when Daniel opened the door. "You're under arrest for the murder of Emily Carter," Ramirez said. Daniel blinked, bleary-eyed. "Who?" Emily Carter was a 26-year-old graphic designer found dead in her apartment 2 nights earlier. The case had no leads until the confession surfaced online. At the station, Daniel watched the clip in stunned silence. "That's not me," he whispered. The voice matched. The face matched. Even the nervous tick near his left eye was there. But he'd never said those words. Still, prosecutors moved fast. A viral confession was good enough for the press, and the DA's office was drowning in public outrage. Enter Dr. Lena Avery, a digital forensics expert often called the Deepfake Whisperer. She testified before Congress about synthetic media and spent years training AI systems to detect forgery. When she was asked to review Holt's confession, she assumed it was routine. But the video was unlike anything she'd seen. The compression artifacts were too clean. The voice modulation matched Holt's speech patterns perfectly, right down to micro-intonations usually lost in replication. And the metadata? Gone. Scrubbed, rewritten, overwritten again. "This isn't amateur work," she told the detectives. "It's surgical. Someone wanted this to pass every authenticity check." The moment she said that, the case shifted from murder to something far more dangerous. 2 weeks later, an anonymous Reddit post appeared on r/JusticeLeaks. It claimed that Holt's confession was a deep fake, created to frame him and shield the real killer. Attached were side-by-side facial maps and voice spectral graphs. The post exploded. Cable pundits turned overnight experts on AI ethics. Politicians called for legislation. The DA's office denied the video was fake, insisting their independent expert had verified it. Meanwhile, Holt sat in jail, his bail revoked after a risk assessment algorithm labeled him high risk due to public volatility. Ramirez, quietly uneasy, visited Dr. Avery again. "If this video's fake," she asked, "who benefits from making it?" Avery stared at the spectral graph, her voice low. "Someone with access to police evidence systems. Someone who knows how justice reacts when people see guilt instead of proving it." A breakthrough came when Avery traced a fragment of the video's training data, a single frame extracted from a law enforcement server. It was the mugshot of a different suspect from an unrelated burglary case. The fake confession had been trained using actual police footage. Someone had spliced together real evidence to build a synthetic truth. All leads pointed to Lucas Grant, a cybersecurity contractor recently fired by the department. Grant had filed a whistleblower complaint about AI surveillance misuse months before his dismissal. When detectives found him, he was living off-grid in a camper in Kentucky, surrounded by server racks and paranoia. "You think I made that video?" he said, smiling bitterly. "You don't understand. The video made itself." Grant claimed he built an automated counter-propaganda AI that could simulate real people to expose corruption. He said the Holt video was a warning, a demonstration of how truth could be engineered. Then he disappeared 2 days later. By the time Holt's trial began, reality itself was on trial. The defense claimed the confession was synthetic. The prosecution insisted it was authentic, citing undeniable AI verification tools. Every news outlet ran side-by-side analyses, experts contradicting experts. Dr. Avery testified calmly. If we can't prove what's real anymore, we can't prosecute fairly. But jurors weren't trained in neuroforensics. They were human, emotional, fallible, and they'd all seen the video. Outside, protesters clashed. Hashtag Deepfake Justice versus hashtag Trusted Evidence. Truth had become a spectator sport. The jury deliberated for 36 hours. When they returned, the foreman's voice trembled. We find the defendant, Daniel Holt, not guilty. The courtroom erupted. But the victory was hollow. The DA appealed, and federal investigators opened a parallel probe into AI evidence tampering. Dr. Avery testified before Congress weeks later. Her statement echoed through every major network. We built machines to mimic truth so well we forgot why we ever needed proof. Lucas Grant was never found. A year later, another confession video surfaced, this time of a sitting congressman, admitting to crimes he never committed. It too went viral. The deepfake arms race had begun. Months later, a streaming platform released a true crime documentary titled The Deepfake Confession. It trended for weeks. Viewers debated whether Daniel Holt was innocent, or just lucky. Forums split into camps dissecting pixel shadows and voice inflections, still chasing authenticity in a world where it no longer existed. In a quiet Indiana diner, Holt ate alone, his name now forever linked to a crime he didn't commit. Every time a stranger glanced his way, he wondered, do they see me or the video?